it's my pleasure this morning to be introducing Mr. Jim Emilson, a consummate professional. Jim, I'm going to hand the mic to you and let you take it away.
I love that about you, Chris Dunlop. It's always nice to be called a consummate professional. So one of the first things that I learned when I went into real estate is what we probably all learned, is that there's nothing more powerful than face-to-face communication. How many times have you heard that? You can't be actually being face-to-face with people in this business. Video is the next best thing to face-to-face communication. So if I'm smart enough, which is questionable, and I may need Andrew, because I'm not as savvy as Jen Burton is with PowerPoints and things, we're going to show you a...
Actually, you did a good job.
I did it.
You did it. I screwed it up on you.
Okay. We're going to watch a 2-minute compilation of some of the video that we've done, and then I'm going to talk about why we do it, and then we'll have a question and answer after that. So... Oh. Okay. Play. My next Red Talk will be on use of technology, just so you know. So. Okay.
I'm the founder of the Emilson Group, and in today's video, I'm going to introduce you to a new position.
So that's an example of some of the things that we're doing with video. So everything that you saw in that video, we hired professional videographer, professional drone operators prior to the changes to drone rules. So we're going to come back to that later on because you can't do some of the stuff that we saw here anymore. But I thought what I'd talk to you about first of all is the use of video and why, as a marketer, it really is something that we have got to push into. I'll give you some statistics from WordStream. WordStream is a digital marketing agency, and this is actually from a very recent article, February the 5th, 2018. First of all, how powerful is video in the world of online stuff? Well, YouTube has now over 1 billion users. That's a third of all internet users are on YouTube watching video. What about Facebook? 45% of people watch an hour or more of video every single week. How much content are people putting up in the form of video? This one blew my mind. Maybe it will yours too. There's more video content uploaded in 30 days today than in the past 30 years by all major North American news and production companies like ABC, NBC, all of that. 30 days there's more going up than in the last 30 years of television production. Can you believe that? Powerful, right? What about this? 1/3 of all online activity today is watching video. 92% of mobile video users share video, and don't we want our marketing pieces to be shared? So that's a huge one. Social video generates 12 times as many shares as text and images combined. What about email videos? An initial email with a video receives an increased click-through rate by 96%. just because you have a video in your email. That's how dramatically it impacts the power of your email. Retention. Do you find that it's hard to remember stuff today? Like, because we're so bombarded? So this is an interesting statistic. Video viewers retain 95% of a message compared to what percentage do you think of people who are just seeing it in text? Compared to 10% in text. So the power of video. And the average user spends 88% more time on a website that has video. So those are the answers to why we've invested heavily in video over the last 2 years. And that's what you've seen, is it's been kind of a compilation of different things. And we've played with things, and I've had lots of failures along the way. I remember my first video, I remember it vividly. I was in Vancouver. I was going to Whistler to ski, December 26, 2015. And have any of you done the Sea to Sky highway up to Whistler? So Diane, you've done that, Vanessa. So that highway, oftentimes there are terrible snowstorms. And so I left Vancouver, and I had actually been at the seawall in Stanley Park in the morning, and then I got into the car and I'm driving up to Whistler, and midway up the snowstorm was so bad that I actually had to turn around and come back to Vancouver. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do with the rest of my day? And I had just been reading about video, and I had attended a conference in Chicago about video. So my very first video I did on the side of the road of that highway coming back down to Vancouver. Like, I may be a lunatic, possibly, but that's true. And the video was about whether people should buy a pre-construction condo as an investment or resale. And I blathered on for 5 minutes on that subject. And I had my iPad set up on the dash like this, actually like this. And what's the problem with that? It looks it doesn't fill the screen. I didn't know anything. And 5 minutes, by the way, guess what? No one watches someone talking for 5 minutes anymore. Especially not when they're just kind of making it up. Did you watch? You're the only person, Tori. No, I measured that on Facebook. It said there was one viewer. Now I know. Thank you. Thank you. No, like that's great. That's why I've always liked you so much. You're the only person who watches my videos. Yeah. So that's where it all started. So actually, Chris had talked to me about, video as a differentiator. I did not start doing video as a differentiator. Like, my mindset was not specifically that I have to do something different. My mindset was, here we've got social media. We've never had better opportunities to communicate with large numbers of people, but our time is, we can't do it face-to-face, right? There's only so much face-to-face time. So video was just a channel through which I could communicate. And I was also relatively new in the business. I started in October 2012, and 2013 was a decent year, 2014 was better. 2015, I expected to be an incredible year, and I missed out on some business because I wasn't different enough. So there was an element of that differentiation. But I wanted to communicate and educate people. So I started this program called Jim Emilson Realtor Talk. Tori's the only one who saw it here, I think. Anybody else? Elise, thank you. Oh, and Angie, I love you all. Okay, so thank you. Yeah. Every Friday afternoon, I would film the video, and it would drop at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, because you can schedule that through Facebook. And I did that consistently for a good period of time, and every week it was something different. For example, I was at Realtor Quest. I met an agent who does a huge amount of pre-construction business, and she explained to me where the best quality in a condo is to buy, and at least from her perspective. And so I did a video on that because I thought that was valuable for my clients. And at a certain point, one week, I didn't do a video. And do you know what happened? I actually had people text me, and past clients, and say, Jim, where's the video? And one of them, they have a little boy named Brayden, and my client's name is Karen. She said, Brayden's waiting to see your video. So I actually did a video just for Brayden, and I sent it to him. So, I mean, it actually does work. People watch this if they're part of your sphere. Video emails. So we use a product called BombBomb. Diane's familiar with that. Some of you have heard of BombBomb. I think Royal LePage has a deal with BombBomb now. So I've been using BombBomb since the beginning. And that's a way to send emails through video. And it's an incredible tool because, again, you can schedule. You use it quite well too, right, Diane? Like, you like that product. Yeah, exactly. So how we use it is we do like a market report to all of our past clients once a month. And it's just another way for me to at least they see me and they hear me in a different way than just sending something out in the mail. It's just a little bit more personal. And with BombBomb, you're able to measure results. So I can actually, in our database that we send out, I can see who the top clients are in terms of them actually watching the video. And it's interesting, there is a correlation between those who watch the video and those who refer me, which is not really a surprise. You don't expect everyone to watch everything, but those who watch it regularly, chances are they'll end up being a good client of yours. Then in 2016, I hired a company to do neighborhood videos. So that was the drone stuff. So we did 5 of the top neighborhoods that I like in Toronto, and we got some beautiful cinematic drone product. And that turned out to be good timing because now you can't do it, but we've got a database of drone, which finally leads us to listing videos. So do any of you feel, and I won't ask for a show of hands, but I did feel in 2015 when I missed out on 2 listings, that the reason I missed out is I wasn't different enough. Have you ever had that? Where you're competing not with a referral, but you've been called in to present on a listing. There are 2 or 3 agents, and at the end of the day, they go with someone else. And then you follow up and you ask them, well, why, can you just help me benefit myself? Which is what I did. And the one person in particular, I'll never forget what he said, because it was a huge lesson for me. He said, Jim, I had 3 agents come in, and honestly, you were all pretty much the same. So who did he go with? The cheapest. Right, exactly. And it hurt missing out on that listing because I was still ultra optimistic in life at that moment. I thought that was my listing. Like I really was surprised. I'm like, Gary, seriously? Well, Jim, like 4%, whatever it was. So how does video differentiate? Here's the thing. It's hard. It's powerful to be able to show a seller actual measurable results. With video, particularly on the Facebook platform, do you know what you have access to? Measurable, quantifiable results. So for example, in 2017, we track everything with regards to video. So 2017, we had 137,346 views of our videos. Our goal was 137,000, so we beat it by 346, which was great. That was a joke. Yeah, 137,346. We can take a past listing and show exactly how many people looked at that listing video, how much of it they watched, what demographic they are in, and all of a sudden as marketers, if we go to a condo in Liberty Village, for example, what's the demographic? Who's going to buy a condo in Liberty Village? Anyone? First-time buyer. How old are they, maximum? 35. Gotcha. Exactly. So you're able to push a video in front of first-time buyers or come close to finding that group. Age, male or female. Who would you push a video to, male or female? Why is that? Exactly. And it's an interesting thing. The actual statistics on Facebook is that men watch 40% more video, but you're absolutely right. When it comes to real estate, it is women who do end up being very influential on the purchase of a home or condo. So you get more traction targeting a female demographic than a male demographic. With the listing video, you also are able to not just capture the feeling of the home, but what we've recently started to do is incorporate the neighborhood. And maybe some of you have seen some recent listing videos where we actually go to 3 or 4 of the most interesting parts of that particular community as according to the seller. So the things the seller loves about that neighborhood, we pull it into the video. And so we're not just selling a house or a condo, because what does everybody choose first? Neighborhood. So we can include the neighborhood. It's very, very difficult to do that using kind of the older methods, but with video, you're able to accomplish exactly that. So I'm going to talk about my fears, and then we'll have a question and answer period, because I'll tell you the things that held me back. And I still do battle them to an extent, although it's been a few years. I've done many, many videos. But the first thing is, would you agree that when you hear yourself or see yourself, like, everyone thinks that they sound like a dork? Isn't that the way it is? So you got to battle that. I was at a conference in San Francisco, and Steve Passionelli of BombBomb said, and this was to me kind of profound, he said, you have to get over it yourself. That's what you look like, and that's what you sound like. No, I mean, it is what it is. Like, now I know I look like a dork, so it just makes it easier. Because it's like, okay, it is what it is. You kind of give up on trying to be different. So there's that. Planning. At first, I was very concerned about the wording. So sometimes my early videos, I would do like 3 or 4 takes to try to get it right. Is that smart or is that dumb? Dumb. Why is that dumb?
Comes off rehearsed.
Exactly. And people today want authenticity. So actually, videos, and I've seen this because I track the results, where I am more myself, or at least I feel like I'm myself, I get better engagement. Meaning, instead of people watching 25% of the video, they watch 50 or 75, or Tori watches the whole thing. So there's that.
They want the full dork experience.
Exactly, exactly. Equipment. Well, first of all, my videographer is here, Drew Chappell, amazing. So there's a guy for you. But the educational stuff that we do, I use a Samsung Note 8. That's it. And for the first 2 years, I used an iPad. And I have no idea how old this iPad is because I don't really care. But it's not like a modern iPad. But that's what I used for the video. Editing, I use, in the early days, iMovie, which is a free Apple product. So it's very easy to cut stuff and add animations and things like that. So you don't have to worry about equipment. You don't have to worry about what you say. You don't have to worry about what you look like. I always comb my hair before. You just have to be authentic and have something that is meaningful to your clients or your sphere. And what I have learned is that over the last 2 years, people who know me and watch those videos, they know that I know what I'm doing. Or at least they think that I know what I'm doing because they've seen me talking about real estate for a long time. So that's what I'm doing. Did you have any questions about video? We'll have like a question and answer period. Anything?
Are you emailing your clients and putting it on Facebook?
Are you talking like with the listing, for example?
Or your Friday video?
So I don't do the Friday video per se anymore.
Okay.
Instead, we do a monthly video.
Okay.
So I push it out through BombBomb to a select database.
Okay.
I put it on my Facebook business page. I sometimes share it through my personal Facebook page. We put, Instagram only allows 59 seconds in terms of video. So I really try to make those market minutes 59 seconds. But Courtney will tell you I'm not successful with that. So normally it's longer. But I push it out everywhere. Like to me, and it's on my YouTube channel. So I have it in a number of places.
What if you have a listing and it's not timely with your monthly video? Or do you just turn that into your monthly?
Completely separate things. So a listing completely stands on its own.
Okay.
So, and a listing, we push it out on every single form of social media. We push it out through YouTube, but Facebook is where you get the most bang for your buck because of the ability to segment and to identify the target market for that property. So you cannot beat Facebook. That's like, if I were to say one thing, if you're going to invest in video, YouTube is great, but YouTube is about searching and finding. Facebook is about pushing in front of the right people with listing. Sometimes I hear agents talking about their organic reach with listings. Well, guess what? Why is organic reach not something to talk about with listing videos? It's because myself as a realtor too, probably 200 of my Facebook friends are realtors. So organic reach is actually not what you want with a listing video. You want to push it in front of the right eyeballs for that property, and that takes a marketing plan. In every single property, we have a different marketing plan. Yes, Teresita. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Tori. And you know what? How could I overlook you as the only person who watches my videos?
What do you budget for like marketing campaign on Facebook?
So it's gone up. When I first started doing listing videos, literally with $50, my first listing video that I did well got over 40,000 views. So that was in early 2016. It is much harder to get, like anything, Facebook, number one, is about making money. So they're not pushing out content the way they used to. Plus you're competing with so many other videos and other forms of media. So right now on a listing, I'll typically spend $400 to $500 to push it out. And with that $400, like my last video, for example, in December, $400, I had 10,000 views. So you see how it really has changed. It is harder to get eyeballs on content on Facebook, by far. Sorry?
Well, Facebook's changed their algorithms too.
Corey.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I was just saying, but Facebook's changed their algorithms too to make it so that your friends' stuff comes up more than business stuff. So it's something that.
And that's a new change. That's right, and that has just happened. So that is another challenge that we'll have to get around. Exactly, because they are limiting, because people are pushing away from Facebook. And by the way, Vero, the new social media app, download it today, because if you're one of the first 1 million, you get it free for life. So check out Vero later today, because that's going to be another cool social media platform. Tori Brown.
Are you promoting or are you advertising? Are you putting them on your page and then promoting it? Is that you're not advertising in Facebook? You're promoting?
So I actually do both. And in fact, sometimes what I'm doing is split testing. So I'll have multiple campaigns going for one listing, where I'm using a slightly different demographic, because what I'm trying to figure out, and it changes all the time, is where the money is best spent. And it's because of split testing that I learned that the best place to push was the female demographic versus the male, because it literally made a big difference on click-through, share, likes, all of that.
Do you get more traction on the promoting from your page or from the advertising?
You're saying
Like making an ad in Facebook versus going to your page and just promoting it.
you can do either through the Ads Manager. Is everyone using the Ads Manager? Like, you're familiar with that? So, but I use the Ads Manager for the main campaigns because we've already built profiles for different types of prospective consumers. The difference is you still have to post it on your Facebook page so it appears on the Facebook page. So that's, it's a good point, Tori. If you just advertise a video through the Ads Manager, it won't appear on your Facebook business page. You have to have it also posted on the page. And obviously you want it in both places because you want that history of videos appearing there. Great.
Do you find it's easier to post it to YouTube than share it to all your social medias? Or do you upload it directly to Facebook? Like, where do you find?
Great question. I upload it direct to Facebook. And the reason for that is, and YouTube does the same thing, they all say that it's a democratic system, that the internet is like an open democratic place. It's not. So do not make the mistake of posting it on YouTube and then sharing it on Facebook, because they will penalize you. You will not get the same traction with an externally loaded video. So yeah, so it is a bit of a pain because you have to go through and load it up these different places.
Because I thought maybe being on multiple places with the same link might actually be better, but that's interesting.
No, definitely host it. If it's YouTube, upload it to YouTube. If it's Facebook, upload it to Facebook. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Colette.
This seems like an excellent way to self-promote. Have you noticed that it has helped you sell property?
100%.
Yeah.
And well, that's hard to measure, right?
Right.
That someone purchased a home because of the video, I can't say that. But what I can say is that open houses, frequently consumers coming in who are not our clients have said, we saw your video on this house. So can I say that's the reason? Would they have got it through Realtor.ca or their Realtor? I don't know that for sure. But I also know that even if they didn't find the house because of that, but they fall in love at the open house and they have the opportunity to watch the video, you will see people watch it over and over again, because when someone falls in love with the house, we're all the same, right? So we're giving them one more outlet to be able to enjoy that. I think I'm being called off.
I'm cutting you off.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thanks very much, Jim.